Tbilisi Medical Academy, TMA, is situated in the heart of the capital of Georgia, preparing students to serve their communities all around the world. Georgia is the fourth safest country in the world and the safest country in Europe, with a unique multicultural society, picturesque nature, and ancient history. TMA offers various programs recognized by the World Federation of Medical Education, WFME, that enable its students to continue their studies and/or get employed anywhere in the world. TMA ascribes special importance to competence and professionalism. With theoretical knowledge and practical experience, students will be introduced to important values and key concepts relevant to medical practice. Competence-based medical education, CBME, is a key feature of our curriculum, which implies that the learning outcomes of the curriculum are formulated in such a way that the students are exposed to theoretical knowledge, practical skills implementation, and important medical values. Our students gain practical experience in 30 leading clinics in Georgia. Representatives of our partner universities are intensively involved in the development and modernization of educational programs, introducing modern teaching, learning and assessment techniques such that the Academy creates a quality-oriented, modern and equal learning environment where students gain practical experience along with theoretical knowledge. Academic personnel who constantly learn and evolve. Exchange programs with universities in European countries where they have the opportunity to excel and get qualified, in conjunction with intensively attending international conferences, seminars and trainings such as AMEE, AMSE, EUA, WFME, etc. The Academy has established the Student Curriculum Committee with a purpose to support and nurture students as necessary. The Academy offers students a variety of exchange programs at European universities, in conjunction with relevant clinical rotations, clerkships at various hospitals around the world.
When the city awakes, the university awakes with it. Every day we face new challenges. Some of us work in innovative laboratories, some in modern libraries, we teach ambitious children, provide inspiring lectures, and work with active elders in the University of Third Age. We all have passion. It brings us together.
European University is a higher education institution where education shapes the future. We are a student-oriented university and are creating a friendly environment for them. European University has many partners all over the world. Consequently, various exchange programs are offered to our students. European University implements numerous academic programs, namely in law, business administration, IT technologies, medicine, dentistry, psychology, etc. All programs are in full compliance with EU standards, and our diplomas are fully recognized in the United States of America, Canada, Great Britain, and in European countries. Currently, we are in a process of institutional accreditation. After the successful completion of this process, we will receive institutional accreditation by the accrediting body of the United States of America. It should be underlined that European University is distinguished by its medicine faculty, which prepares high-level professionals both for national and international labor market.
This is the medical faculty of the European University where future doctors get high-quality education. We offer 4 different programs at the faculty, medical, doctor and dentistry programs in English, and the same program we offer in Georgian language. All these programs are accredited by the National Center for Educational Quality Enhancement. I may say that distinguished features of our faculty are high quality of the programs, student supportive environment, and constant development. Currently, we have almost 2,000 students from all over the world, and as we are a student-oriented university, we do our best to give our students all the opportunities to reach the goals and become successful professionals. Our students can participate in scientific research activities, different exchange programs, or extracurricular activities. All our programs are led by the experienced and highly qualified lecturers and are carried out in the medical campus of the university, which is equipped with the excellent material technical resources and in different hospitals in Georgia. Modern technologies are widely integrated in the programs, and actually challenges what we faced during the pandemic COVID-19 forced and enhanced this process even more. In general, I may say that our team likes to accept challenges, and at the end of every year when we summarize our goals, we are happy and proud with the achievements, and it became a common thing that for the faculty every next year is the better with more success than the previous one.
Hello everyone, good evening, and thank you for joining us for this October edition of the Medlink Students webinar. We are thrilled to have you all with us, and we really hope you gain a fantastic insight from all the information that we have to give you. I'm going to go over an overview of that in just a moment. Please remember as well that we do have a Q&A in the bottom, so any questions you want to ask, please throw them into the Q&A. We've got a dedicated team that are ready to answer your questions. We'll also be choosing a few of the common questions and answering them live throughout the webinar as well. Okay, so to go over a little bit about who's going to be talking on the webinar this evening. Of course, you have myself as a senior student advisor here at Medlink Students, as well as my colleague Edmund and Dana, again, also senior student advisors here at Medlink Students, as well as Daniela, our senior admissions expert, or one of our senior admissions experts. Now, this is, of course, as well as a lot of students and guest speakers that are going to be talking, a few heads and representatives of universities that we're going to be lucky enough to have conversations with a little bit later on. So, next up, if any of you are wanting to download the slides for this presentation, so you've got something to go through afterwards, something to refer back to, maybe you want to make your own notes on a copy of it. If you're researching which universities to go to at the moment, feel free to scan this here and you can have a look through everything. We will be sharing this a little bit later on as well, so don't worry if you haven't got everything to hand now to go on to that. Okay. So what are we going to cover today? In a nutshell, we're going to talk first about who we are as Medlink students. Of course, it's important for you to know who it is you're listening to this evening. Then we're going to go into some of the benefits of studying abroad and why it benefits different people. Of course, there's lots of different ones that we're going to go over with that. We're going to talk about some of the most popular universities in Europe and also in the Caribbean. Going on from there, we're then going to go over the admission fees and the tuition and how much that varies in different schools and what sort of budget, self-funding, scholarships, all that sort of thing. We're going to talk a little bit about how we will help you, as an organization. And then we're going to go through, as I mentioned, the live Q&A where we'll try and get through as many of your questions as we can. So just to start things off then, who is Medlink Students? I can't think of anybody better than my colleague Edmund to go through and tell us a little bit more about this. Over to you, Edmund.
Thank you, Tom. Hello, everyone. Thank you for being here with us tonight. It's always a pleasure to have you guys join us. Our story is quite the journey. Our brave doctors and dentists were once students themselves, just like you guys. And they faced the same challenges in trying to get or secure spots in medical and dental schools. Now, despite having the right grades, they encountered the rejections, and then, of course, they decided to explore beyond the UK. Now, picture them spending countless of hours diving into research about the suitable schools out there, comparing the schools, the choices, dealing with those confusing entry requirements and deadlines, and grappling with the whole application process. Now, these struggles became the foundation of our mission. And you see, we've been through them all, figuring out the application, preparing the entrance exams, if needed, stepping into a whole new country that you've never seen or been before, making friends. Well, we really truly understand how overwhelming this entire journey can be. And that's exactly why we're here, ready to assist you in every twist and turn. Now, let me introduce you to our exceptional team, which is made up of doctors and dentists who have really walked the same path of studying abroad. And then there's me, one of the fellow students advisors here. We really delve into your unique situation and your preferences, and we craft a personalized plan that paves the way for your informed decision, because it's a big step. Now, let's talk about the support team that we have on ground, because they come in. Imagine you go abroad, you step into a new country. They are there to support you, so you're never alone. And they'll help you settle in, find the right place to stay, address any immediate concerns that you might have, because they want to make sure your transition is as smooth as ever. And of course, we can't forget about our admissions team. Now, they're the ones that ensure that your application has a ship shape for the submission. And they will hold your hand every step of the way to make sure that nothing goes amiss. And here's the magic. Really, by pulling the wisdom of our doctors and our advisors and the admissions team and the supports, we've really got your back throughout the entire journey. So from this step to the very last, we're really here to provide you with every support you need to make the best decision of your life. Back to you, Tom.
Fantastic, Edmund. Thank you for going through those with us and giving everyone a little bit of an insight. I hope you've all got a good background now on who we are as an organisation and why we're doing what we're doing. Next up, let's talk about studying abroad. Let's go over some of the benefits. I'd like to invite my colleague Dana, who's going to go over some of the most, let's say, the most popular benefits of studying abroad for our students. Thanks, Dana.
Thank you, Tom. So exciting to see how many students are joining us today. I'm sure many of students today joining this webinar are students considering to go abroad next year to study medicine. You have a dream and you're here to figure out a way to achieve that dream. And you would like to know more about what's the advantage of going to Europe. And now we're going to discuss a little bit of the advantages of going to Europe. One of the best things about studying abroad is the affordable tuition fees. We have universities ranging from $5,000 up to $20,000, $25,000 a year. So depending on your budget, you can always find a university with very high quality of education and at the same time not have any financial concerns. In addition to the international environment that students get to enjoy a lot, when you go abroad, you will be studying with a group of students from many different countries, different cultures, different backgrounds, just to learn how to learn about their cultures, how to deal with people from different countries. Also, one other advantage is the flexible admission requirements. You can see a lot of universities that require an entrance exam. Some universities require an interview. Some students come to us, they don't have 3 sciences, they have 2. Some students have 1. So it depends on the requirements that you have, whatever qualification you have. We will always manage to find a university where you can study medicine and prove yourself. And of course, one of the concerns students usually have is, am I going to have to learn a new language going abroad? Best part about the courses in Europe is they have courses that are fully taught in English language. And of course, the degree will be globally recognized. So it qualifies you to go back to your home country and work in your home country or stay in Europe, depending on your plans, of course. Each student wants to go somewhere. Best part is the degrees are worldwide recognized and they qualify you to come back home and practice. Another advantage that students find in Europe is the variety. You can apply to more than 1 university. You don't have any limits. You can apply to 2 or 3 universities, depending on your criteria, and we will be able to help you with that. And we have a team of experts to make sure that you don't have to apply to 10 or 20 universities. We limit your options to the most suitable universities for you to make sure that we get you accepted at the most convenient place. Plus the modern facilities. Students get to enjoy their experience over there with the modern facilities, labs, simulation rooms that the universities have. They're very modern, in addition to the activities that they have, sports and other stuff. So later on in the webinar, we will be hearing students' experiences. They will tell us more about that and what you can enjoy in Europe. You can hear it from students. So I'll pass it on to you, Tom.
Great, thank you, Dana. Yes, it's always exciting to hear from the students themselves about what their benefits are. We will definitely be asking a few of them later on in the webinar, just to get a good idea from them of what they're enjoying the most about studying abroad, what kind of things they weren't expecting to enjoy, but really has turned out to be a huge benefit for them. There's always some fantastic stories, so we're going to be going through a lot of those later on. Next up, we want to talk a little bit about the situation in the UK. Now, that's not to say we don't see the situations in other countries as well. Of course, a lot of Western countries have the same problems in terms of how hard it is to get into medical school at home. We understand that, and we thought we'd share a bit of information, some statistics with regards to it, just to give you an idea of what it's like at the moment and what the situation is and why so many people are looking to study abroad instead of in their home country. Edmund, I'm going to invite you to go through a few of these stats for us.
Thank you, Tom. So, applying to medical schools in the UK has become a significant challenge. And a lot of the students that I talk to, they're all competing for limited spaces. And the number of applicants that are applying keeps growing, while the seats in the UK, they stay the same. And this really leaves the deserving students without any opportunities. Now, why is this? Well, more and more students are ever inspired to pursue medicine, but the schools just can't really accommodate everyone. And this leads intense competition among applicants, which makes it really hard for qualified students to get in. Now, here in the UK, we are welcoming more and more graduates from the EU and countries around the world. Now, right now, the NHS has a big problem, and they need 50,000 more doctors, which is really worse than in any other European countries. And to fix this, they are really hiring doctors trained in other countries. So now we understand that prospective students that come to us, they have concerns about going abroad, studying medicine, and then coming back to the UK. But you don't need to worry about this, really, because the degrees are recognized back in the UK. And of course, we'll go through this in the webinar. And there are similar challenges that exist in other Western countries. I speak to students from other countries and they face exactly the same thing. And it's now common for students to go and study abroad and then return back in their home countries to really contribute to their healthcare systems. And the UK is no exception. In fact, the recent data from last year tells us a compelling story. Over 10,000 international medical graduates joined the UK workforce. That's a lot, which basically surpassed the combined number of UK graduates and EU graduates. That's really more than a total number of doctors who graduated in the UK and the EU combined. There's a lot. Now, this shows that really so much of the UK needs doctors, and they're really happy to hire from other places. Now, the UK appreciates the help of doctors from other countries, and they want to fill the gaps in the medical teams. And so, as you can see from the numbers here, there's a serious lack of doctors in the UK. Now, if you're thinking of becoming a doctor, this is great news because it means that there are lots of opportunities waiting for you. Your qualifications that you earn, they're important, and you can make a huge difference as part of the healthcare team. You'll be joining a big group of people who care about making other people feel good and better, because that's the dream. When I talk to a lot of the students, that's all they say. I just want to help other people. So this is really a call for all of you listening, that this is an opportunity for you to be able to pursue the dream that you always have. Now, another question that I get asked is, well, how long are the courses in Europe? How long is medicine and how long is dentistry? Now, across multiple countries, including Europe, the Doctor of Medicine degree, which is MD, is frequently undertaken under English, which is what we help with. And it extends over a period of 6 years. Now, this typically involves the first 3 years, which are the preclinical years. So you basically do theoretical, some practical, and then you build on your clinical skills, right? You get to kind of get hands-on at the beginning before you start seeing patients. And then the final 3 years are really the clinical years. This is where you get to go to the hospitals, get to do all the clinical rotations across all the different disciplines. Really the fun part of the medical education. Now, of course, these degrees are recognized in many countries. So you're able to come back to the UK, you can go to the US, you can go to Australia and other countries as well. Now, one of the beautiful things about MD is if you do study MD and you come back to the UK, especially in Europe, some of the graduates are able to go into the foundation year too, which is a beautiful thing. Now, what about dentistry? Now, much like MD, the English program you can graduate as a DMD, which is Doctor of Dental Medicine, or DDS, the same thing. Now, this can span across either 5 or 6 years, where the initial first 2 years or 3 years are the preclinical years. And then the final 3 or 2 years are really the clinical years. The first 3 years, you get to learn the basics. You get to do a lot of hands-on experience. You learn a lot on dummies or phantom heads, if you like. And then you start to progress more into the final years, which is where you get to do all your specialties across dentistry, which basically allows you to see patients, interaction with patients. It really builds a good, solid foundation for you to really come out of the course as either a very, very strong dentist or a doctor. Now, graduate entry, medicine, and dentistry. Now, this is something that we also offer. For medicine, of course, we have the 4 standalone year programs, which we'll be talking about today. We have some really exciting ones that we'll be sharing with you guys today. And this is where you get to study medicine for 4 years. You have the first 2 years as your preclinical phase, where you get to have the phase of the preclinical, the hands-on experience before you start seeing patients in the final 2. Now, for the dental part of it, this is more of a transfer of credits. So we take a look at what degree you have, and then we transfer the credits into the course, which means that you can do up to 4 years in total. So this is great for anyone that has a bachelor's degree that's considering going into a shorter course to get into either medicine or dentistry. Now, other things that we get asked is, what are the living costs? What are the tuition fees? And then another service that we offer also is transfers. And to tell you all about all of this, I'd like to invite my colleague Dana to share with you about transfers, so as in moving from one school to another, the tuition fees and how they differ from country to country, and the living costs. Dana?
So yeah, another great service that we have is transfers. Many times we get students that go to our country and they find out that's not the right environment for them, or that's not the right university. They're not enjoying their experience there and they would like to transfer. So this is for students who went to a university and already studying medicine. Majority of students here are considering first year entry in October. However, if you're one of the students that is looking to transfer, then this is a service that we offer, and it is possible to move from one university to another. The way how transfers work is based on recognition of subjects. So we have to bring the curriculum that you study or the syllabus, and we have to see how much it matches, and based on that, we help you transfer. It's recommended to transfer before year 3. So transfers are usually possible up to year 3. However, if you are above year 3, then it is something that we can help you with. So just get in touch with us and we'll manage to advise you which university would be best to transfer to. And also another question that we get, as Edmund mentioned, is the tuition fees and living expenses. Many students want to know, how much is it going to cost me when I go abroad? Is it going to be expensive? Am I going to be able to afford it? So one of the main questions or things that students ask me is, does it mean if a university has higher tuition fees, that quality of education would be higher? The answer here is no, because the university's tuition fees are more related to the geographical location, to the economical situation that the university is in. So as you can see on the screen, we have universities that range from 4,800 euros up to 25,000 euros a year. So it's very important to take into consideration the budget, and we will help you discuss that. We will see how much you're able to afford, and we will help you find something suitable. One of the top universities get the best quality of education and a worldwide recognized degree with the budget that you have. So you can focus on your studies without having any financial worries or burdens on you or your family while you're living abroad.
Fantastic. Thanks, Dana, for going through all of that for us. Really helpful. A great indication here of how much you're looking to spend and what kind of amounts you need to be budgeting for depending on your country of choice. But I think one big thing here is the variety. Whatever your budget is, we'll find something that's going to be suitable for you. We'll try our best to, based on all of the different options we have in Europe. We're all very fortunate to have all the opportunities that are available in the English language at the moment. Okay, so we've spoken a little bit about the cost, some of the benefits, the situation in the UK. So now we're going to go a little bit more into the admissions requirements and what it actually takes to apply to these schools. Because of course, a lot of you want to know, how do I actually apply? How do I get into this school? So I can't think of anyone better for this than my colleague Daniela. Daniela is a senior admissions expert who works on thousands of students' files and has done now for many, many years. And she's going to tell us a little bit more about the process. Over to you, Daniela. Okay, we'll just wait for a moment for them to sort everything out there.
Hello, everyone. I hope you're ready to embark on a thrilling journey towards your academic dreams. My name is Daniela, and I am part of the Medlink Students admissions team. Today, I'm here to share with you what are the options at the lovely European universities and how our team can assist you making your dreams reality. First things first, let's talk about the requirements. The first important document that you should have is a high school diploma, or the equivalent of the document in your own country's high school system. European universities are famous with their academic excellence, and as such, they usually expect from their candidates to have a strong background in the basic science, such as biology, chemistry, physics, and maths. If you don't have these, rest assured, because there are enough universities that will accept you even without this, just because they like to give equal opportunity to everyone. All you have to do is contact one of our expert advisors, and they will assist you with finding a suitable university in regards to your educational background. For the non-native English speakers, some of the universities require English proficiency certificate. This is just so the university will be sure that you will be making the most out of the course. If this is not enough, our team is here to assist you with preparation of the entrance exam. The entrance exam can include multiple choice questions, open questions, or the combination between both. Our team will make sure to prepare a very strong file for you and to provide you with all the questions in advance so you can be fully prepared to amaze the universities. If this is not all, our team is also here to help you with the preparation for the interview. If the university that you are applying for has an interview, we will make sure to provide you with the questions beforehand so you can be fully prepared. Our team is dedicated of making your process as stress-free and smooth as possible. At Medlink Students, we maintain constant communication with all the institutions that are involved in your application, along with the university of your choice. This is how our team is always ready to update you on your application process, and this is how we make sure that you will receive the acceptance letter for the university of your choice. So what are you waiting for? Apply now. Get ready for a brighter future at studying medicine or dentistry in one of the lovely European universities. Back to you, Tom.
Fantastic. Thank you, Daniela, for giving us all some insight into what it's like to apply abroad. And this is only just the surface, really, of how much there has to be covered. Our admissions team are working day and night. This year, we've had a record number of applications come in for the October 2023 intakes in the universities. So thank you to Daniela and to all your colleagues for the hard work you've done to help all the students this year have a chance to get into some fantastic medical schools. You all did a great job, and we're really grateful. And I'm sure a lot of the people listening this year will be confident knowing that they'll receive your support and assistance with applying abroad. So speaking of which, let's talk about some of the schools. Students are always asking me, Tom, where do you think I should apply? And I don't like to pick and choose like this. So what I tell the student is there are so many opportunities for you to choose from, but it's all about choosing what school is right for you as an individual. Now, as I mentioned before, the great thing in this day and age is just the amount of variety. So many countries have seen the success they can have by having these international-led English-taught medicine programs, specifically for students from other countries around the world. There's so many programs set up now. They've all got a lot of experience. And yeah, here is just a handful of them. As you can see, lots of different countries. We've got Georgia, which was one of our most popular destinations this year. Bulgaria, which I'm sure a lot of you have heard about. They were one of the first countries to start teaching in the English language for medicine. So they've got a huge following, a lot of people applying every year. But then you've also got places a bit closer to the UK, for example, somewhere like Hungary, which have got some fantastic schools in a very modern city. So yeah, as I'm saying, really just examples of showing you how varied everything can be. And we can just have appointments. We can discuss all of the different queries, exactly what you're looking for in a university, what kind of activities you want to see, what kind of friendships and groups you want to be involved in, and we'll be able to handpick the most suitable schools for you as an individual. Okay, so speaking of which, we're going to now go into some of the schools in a little bit more detail. And what we're going to do as well is we're going to invite some students on, as well as some doctors and some representatives from the universities, to give you all a good idea of what's going on over there, how they're finding their studies, what sort of concerns they have, what they were worried about, how they overcame their struggles, all sorts of things. I'm getting myself excited just talking about it now. So I want to start off by going in with Bay University, which is a university in the Caribbean. And my colleague Edmund is going to tell us a little bit more. Over to you.
Now, let's talk about the Caribbean. Now, this has been an area that we've been really looking into quite well for some time now. We're really excited to share with you the opportunities that are out there. And we all know that the Caribbean brings you sunshine all year long, right? Picture yourself studying under clear blue skies and warm sunshine. Truly a dream, right? And we're excited to introduce a couple of universities. One of them is Bay University. This is in Aruba. This is a course that is 4 years in length. This is a graduate entry program. Of course, they teach the course in English. Now, the tuition fees, of course, starts from 8,600 euros. Now, a question I get asked from students is, can I still go? I don't have a degree. There is also an option for the students without degrees to be able to join the course, which is going into the pre-med course. Now, this is something we can share in details depending on, of course, your requirements. They have 3 intakes per year, and the intakes are January, May, and September. So currently, we're actually working on the January intake, which we are closing down on that soon. So if you do want to get your seat booked, make sure you get in touch with us so we can look into opportunities to applying for you. And then also, the most important thing is you graduate there as a doctor of medicine. And so this is the chance for you to really get into a medical course in an island where you have the opportunity to really see a different world. Now, there's no need to prepare for the UCAT, the MCAT, or the GAMSAT. There is an interview which you have to prepare, which is a video call. We'll provide you with everything that you need, as Daniela mentioned. And then also, the courses are recognized by many councils as well. Again, this is something we can go through depending on where you're planning on going to. Sometimes we do have a network of graduates that have gone to these countries. So you get to have an opportunity as well to go and practice in these countries as well. Now, amazing thing about Bay University is the hands-on experience that you have in the early stages. So even in the first 2 years, you get to have the hands-on experience. And another thing is the smaller class sizes. They have between 10 to 20 students per class. This is amazing for a lot of the students because they get to ask questions. They get to become present in the lecture hall, and they get to interact with the doctors who are also trained to help them become confident in what they do. Now, moving on from there, a lot of the things that we can talk about so many things about the graduate entry program in Aruba, but there is another option that we're also looking into, which we are also excited to share with you, which is Richmond Gabriel University. Now, they also have a 4-year program there, which is also taught in English. You graduate there as a doctor of medicine. They also have 3 intakes per year, September, January, and May. So you can join in any of these intakes, depending on when you finish your degree or your high school. Now, this is in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. We're actually really excited working with the school as well. They have the 4-year program and also the pre-med, which allows students with the high school can also join the course. We have actually invited a student and 2 of their graduates to talk about their experiences there. So to invite one of the graduates, this is Dr. Jemima, to tell us about her experience and how she's found her experience as a student and then what she's currently doing. Jemima?
Hi. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah. Hi.
Hello. Thank you
Hi
for joining
everyone.
us, Coach Ima.
Yes, sir. I've got
Can you hear
cold,
us?
so yeah. Can you guys hear me as well?
We can hear you, yes. We understand you're under the weather, and thank you so much for spending the evening some time with us. Can you tell us a bit about your experience as
Yeah.
a student at Richmond?
Wait, your line is breaking.
Oh,
What did you
hello.
say?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Yeah, thank you.
Ah, brilliant.
Yeah, what did you
Can
say
you
earlier,
share with
please?
us your
Yeah.
experience at Richmond, Gabriel?
Okay. So hi everyone. My name is Jemima Ikebo, and I'm a, should I say, ex-student of Richmond. I graduated this year summer, August, and I started from the pre-med level, like what Edmo said earlier, that we do have you can go through the graduate entry or the pre-med coming from high school, go straight to pre-med level. But I went through the pre-med level based on the fact that I didn't have a proper science background. So if you don't have a science background, for instance, you can start from the pre-med level. But if you do have a science background, you can start from the MD level, which is a 4 years degree. So the school is based in St. Vincent, and St. Vincent is a beautiful country, a tropical country, and it's a safe country as well. So the teaching style is very, how do I put it? The lecturers there make sure that the student understood what they're teaching, and the classes are really small. The students in the classes are really small. So they give you all different materials for you to use to study. So they put you in a group as well if you're struggling. So that's another one. If you're struggling, they'll pair you up with someone, and you have a personal tutor that actually check on your grades, because we do have block exams every month, I think. Is it every month? That's true, because I've left MD for long, so bear with me if I'm not saying the right time of the exam. So we have block exams every month. So if your first block exam wasn't great, so your personal tutor will have to make sure that the next one is great in order for you to proceed to the next class. And yeah, so from MD1, we do have anatomy classes where we have to go to a cadaver room. And that's Dr. Sandra is the best when it comes to cadaver. Like he makes sure you know every arteries, veins. So because it's a small school and the students are really small, we're not big in numbers, so you get to learn a lot. And also we have we can actually stay in school as well after, like, study after stay after school and study. I'm really sorry guys, I'm struggling with I have blocked nose, so I'm really struggling right now. So yeah, but apart from that, Richmond Gabriel is a good school, and if you really want to study medicine, I would advise people to go there. And also you need to be dedicated. You need to study hard. Medicine is not a joke. So in order for you to get the best grade, you need to study. Even though these classes are small, but you still have to study. You have to look for a way to understand stuff. And if you don't understand stuff, make sure you seek for help. Seek for help. That's the word. That's what I'm going to say. Speak to the lecturer. If you're having issues with your physiology, speak to your physiology lecturer. Make sure you let them know that you're finding this difficult. They're willing to explain everything for you. Apart from that, St. Vincent is a safe environment for students. So you don't need to be worried about any crime, and you don't need to be worried about any crime going on. So you're going to be in a safe environment. And we do have buses as well, like school buses that take you to school and bring you back home. And yeah, so that's all. If you want to know more, you can get my number off one of the guys out there, and you can just message me. I could explain more because I'm really struggling right now because my nose is really blocked. Yeah, I'm
That's
sorry.
absolutely fine. Thank you
Yeah.
so much for your help in joining us actually in explaining your journey. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. So we have another. Oh, this is a student who's actually currently studying at the university. This is a Somchi who's actually doing the course there. Somchi, you still here?
Yeah, good evening, everyone. I'm here.
Thank you so much for joining us. How is Grenadines at the moment?
No, I'm not there. I'm doing my course online, so doing it from overseas in the UK.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
UK,
Thank you. Can you share with us your experience so far at Richmond, Gabriel?
Yeah. So I started off last month. So towards the end of last month. I missed the first 2 weeks of the classes, but then the teachers ensured that I was able to get up to speed with the rest of the class. And then we had our exams, our block 1 exams start of October, which went really well. The whole experience has been really nice. We currently, because I'm doing the pre-med program, we currently do 5 subjects: physics, chemistry, maths, calculus, English, and physics as well. So all the subjects have been nice. The teachers have been really good. They've been able to explain all the subjects in details, and then I've been able to talk to a few people as well in the class, and then they're really nice and welcome as well. So that has really made my experience enjoyable.
Oh, fantastic. Thank you. And just also confirm with everyone that's listening, the pre-med course basically covers really basic science, biology, chemistry, physics. So this is something the university has allowed the students to do online. Now, of course, there's a choice to do that on campus if needed. Now, how have you found that? Did you have any obstacles, and what did you do to kind of overcome that since you've been doing the pre-med?
So obviously it's online, so really face to face with the teachers, so that's a bit of a challenge on its own. But then I've been able to on my own do some research, read some books on my own to make sure that I understand every topic well as well. And then also when I'm struggling, I'm able to email teachers, but like the time difference is sometimes an issue. But like I make sure that I get the information I need when the time is right, so as to avoid myself struggling in any areas.
Fantastic. And what made you choose Richmond, Gabriel, amongst all the other options that you had?
So Richmond was the school that gave me the opportunity to do an online course for a year, because I couldn't really leave the UK this year because of my ILR. I still have a year to complete on that, so I had to do this 1 year online, and then which gave me the opportunity to go there next year to study and start the medicine course.
Fantastic. And I suppose this is a perfect opportunity to get into medicine. What just the last question for you? What advice do you have for the students, or even family members of the students, or parents that are watching and maybe a bit apprehensive in joining a course as you're doing? What advice do you have for them?
I would say that you should not really, you shouldn't really look over it as a really fun experience. Is something you probably haven't done before, so you shouldn't like kick against it. It's definitely enjoyable, and then also gives you the experience of like meeting more people, more diverse people, and a different culture on its own. So it's not so really, I don't think it's something you should kick against. I think it's something you should give a thought and then join university.
Brilliant. One final one just for you, Somchi. How did you find the actual process with Medlink students helping you get into the course? How was the whole experience for you?
Yeah, our experience was really good. I think by the time I applied was quite late, but then the Medlink was able to get me up to speed, and then we're able to fast track the whole application to ensure that I don't miss a lot of the school. For every area of the application, they ensured that I had the right documents, wrote the right statements, because I had like a personal statement to write, which I wrote, so they were able to check over that, ensure that that was good. All the documents I needed, they ensured that it was up, it was right. So anyone that had an error in it, they go back to me quickly as they could, and then this ensured that the whole process was fast, and then there wasn't really anything missing before the university got my application as well. And then so thankfully the whole process went by fast, and I didn't miss much of the school or the lessons.
Brilliant. Okay, so I guess last minute, but we were able to pull this through for you.
No worries. Yeah.
Thank you. We can't wait to see your journey through into medical school, and then you finally flying over there. And of course, we know that you'll be documenting your journey as well. Thank you so much for joining us.
No worries. Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you. So, last but not least, we have one of our graduates who also finished this year, and I believe is working. Dr. Kevway, are you here with us?
Yeah, I am here.
Hello. How are you? You all right?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm fine.
Thank you so much for spending some time. We know being a doctor can be easy, splitting your time with, working and then also trying to juggle between that and here. Thank you for joining us. Could you tell us a bit more about your experience from being a student and then now to now being a doctor, please? Thank you.
Okay, so my journey as a student, it started, when I got in. So I started from pre-med 1. Back then, I was doing mostly things like physics, chemistry, biology. Basically things that a lot of you would have already been familiar with, things that I already did in secondary school. Then I would go into the medical school proper. That's when we started doing the more medical sciences. So things like anatomy, physiology, biochemistry, and all of that. And from there, we progressed to the clinicals, where we started going to the hospitals and interacting with patients, and it really helped us build like our foundation from basic medical sciences to clinical sciences. And, after graduation, looking for jobs, and finally deciding, do I want to go to the US? Do I want to go to the UK? So I settled on coming to the UK, and that's just the long and short of it.
Fantastic. And can you share with us your experience from graduating to now working as a Foundation Year 1 doctor? What was the process like for you?
Okay, so it's a process I started before I had finished. Okay, so it's really important that in your final year, people become like active, and they know the process, they understand the process better. Because for me, in final year, I decided that, okay, in July, in middle of the year, there's the UK FPO, the United Kingdom Foundation of Program Office, that opens up for F1s. And then I looked into that, and I saw, okay, the eligibility period was open in July. That was July of last year. And I and a couple of others, we decided that we wanted to apply for that. So we went through this eligibility screening where we had to send I think some of us had to send a copy of our degrees or the transcripts and things that we have done in school, just to make sure that we were eligible to come to the UK to work as doctors. And I think all of us, every single one of us, we got clear to come take PLAB. So after that, I knew I had to take PLAB in November, because there are deadlines for every single exam that you have to write. So I had to take PLAB 1 in November. And then I had to take an exam called the Situational Judgment Test in January of this year. But that exam has been scrapped now, so you don't have to worry about that anymore. Then I had to take PLAB 2 in May. And after passing all my exams, I was able to come work in the UK. So immediately you pass your PLAB 1 and you're eligible and everything, you start to apply for foundation programs. And those are just like 20 different foundation schools. For example, London is a foundation school on its own. Oxford is a foundation school on its own. Scotland is foundation school on its own. So there are 20 different foundation schools where you do your 2-year training. And I had to rank, okay, where do I want to go? Do I want to be in London? Do I want to be in Kent, Surrey, and Sussex? So after all the rankings, you get randomly selected based on how good your CV is. So things like where you rank in medical school and your SJT score, but we no longer use SJT score. So basically, I was able to get where I wanted to go, and that's where I'm working at now for the next 2 years. And you will get that result in March, because I got that in March, but I still had to write my PLAB 2 exam in May. So it's like you have a job, but it's like a conditional offer. So, but when you pass all your exams, then your conditional offer becomes, okay, you're now an employee, and that was that. So all in all, it was like a year of preparation from July of last year. And I started working in August of this year. So I'm on my August, September. I'm currently on my 3rd month as a doctor in the UK.
Fantastic. How is it? What is a kind of a day-to-day life of Dr. Kevway?
Okay, so the first time I answered this question, I was still very new in like my first 1 or 2 weeks. So I didn't really have like, I have a better idea now. So basically, the standard work day that you would have as an FY1 or FY2 is like 8:30 to 5:30, basically. If you're working in medicine, I'm working in medicine right now. I know people who work in surgery where it's more like 7:30 to 4:30, but that's like a standard shift. You're on the ward, you're with a team. I'm with the gastroenterology team right now, and there are 5 of us as F1s there, and we all work together in the same office and on the same wards with patients. So that's what the standard is for me. But then there are other special shifts that we undertake. For example, night shifts. So night shift is where you come in at 9 p.m. and then you leave at 10 a.m. the next day. So you do that. So for example, for a week, you might have a standard 9 to 5 or 8:30 to 5:30. And then the next week, you might have a night shifts where you come in by 9 p.m. and leave by 10 a.m. Okay, and then you might go back to your normal standard shifts, 8:30 to 5:30 for the next 2 weeks. And then we also have some other special shifts, like for example, one that we call the twilight shift, where you're working from 4 p.m. to 11 p.m. at night. So we have that as well. And then we have what we call the post-take. So the post-take are another kind of special shift where whichever patients that come the night before, so let's say a patient comes in by like 1 a.m. in the morning, and then the medical team or the night team sees the patient and say, okay, we're going to admit you into the hospital. You are like the post-take doctor. So from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m., it's your duty to see all the patients that have been admitted into the hospital and do whatever jobs that you have to do for them. If it's to order the bloods for them or make sure this test is done, that test is done. Yeah, so those are the various kinds of shifts that we have. And there's also weekend shifts as well. So maybe once a month or once in 2 months, you might have to work on the weekends, but it's not often. And that's usually from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. as well. But you would usually be put with either in a place where you're familiar with. So for example, if I'm working on the weekend, I'm working on the gastro ward because that's where I'm familiar with. Or if they put you in an unfamiliar place, you will usually have senior supervision. So most of the work that you do as an F1 is under senior supervision. So you will be well taken care of on that end.
Oh, fantastic. This is really exciting, all the exciting stuff that you're doing. When you're doing your rotations or as you're working now, are you working with doctors from the UK or are you working with international doctors as a whole as well? And where are they from?
Yeah, so right now, I think in my F1 class, we were about 50, and most of them are from the UK. Okay, but I think there's a couple of us that are internationals, basically. So I knew that because there was this prescription safety assessment that the UK medical students write in their final year. But I didn't get to do that because I didn't school in the UK. So when it was time for, I had to take it as an F1. And then when I came in to write the exam, I saw that there were other F1s who had studied abroad as well in different parts of the world who were there with me. So yeah, like a couple of us did study abroad, but the vast majority are UK grads, but there are a sizable portion of us that did study abroad.
And from you studying abroad, do you notice that there's a difference between how you work and how they work? Or is it similar?
Yeah, so depending on where you went to school, I believe that medical schools everywhere are different, basically. You just have to figure out, okay, what do you really want out of yourself? So for me, going to the school in the Caribbean, I had gone through a kind of medical education that was quite different from the British medical system. So for example, one example is exams that we had to take. So in the Caribbean, the exams, we had to take things called NBMEs, which were like 5-hour-long exams and things like that. But you find that that's not the same system in the UK. I know a couple of us were discussing it in Doctor's Mess as well today. And so the one difference I can say is that studying in the Caribbean and following that curriculum that was modeled after the US, it was a much more, I don't want to say rigorous, but yeah, in that sense, if you think about it, it's like you had to learn a lot more in a shorter period of time than I guess maybe, so that's one difference that that we did notice. Our exams were much longer, and there was also a lot of emphasis on like deep basic science knowledge and things like coming from where I'm coming from. So that was one difference that I think that's the biggest difference that I've seen between like the internationals and those of us who schooled in the UK here.
Brilliant. Thank you so much for joining us, Dr. Kebwe. We know that, of course, as the shift times you've been talking about, they're very long shifts and different times. So thank you for joining us, and we really appreciate you spending some time with us. And we know that you've been an inspiration to a lot of the students that are listening and the parents as well. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. So I'm going to invite my colleague, Tom, who's going to share with you the next university we're going to talk about. This is in Latvia. Tom?
Edmund, thank you. Fantastic hearing from students, doctors, and even Dr. Kebwe there. Congratulations again to you, Dr. Kebwe, for now registering and working in the UK. A dream come true for you. We're really proud of you and really happy for you and all the success. You've put in so much hard work, and it's all worth it. So moving on, of course, we've got so many universities to get through. So the next one, this is one of our favorite medical schools. It's a very prestigious school called Riga Stradins University. This is based in the city of Riga in Latvia. This is an incredibly supportive school that offers English courses, as you can see, in medicine and dentistry, and also a pre-med course. There is no entrance exam. This university is based mainly on your academic achievements. So if you're from the UK, that's your A-levels. From elsewhere, your high school, grade 12, leaving certificate, whichever it may be, that's what they're going to be focusing on. And of course, we can go through the exact requirements with you on the calls and see if it's something that's suitable for you. Tuition fees, as you can see here, €12,500 for the Doctor of Medicine and 14 to 15,000 for the Doctor of Medicine in Dentistry. And that's because the fees increase slightly for the clinical section of the course in dentistry. Cost of living around €800 a month. So again, this is a rough average of how much the students will spend in terms of rent, food, bills, transport, etc. There are dormitories available for those of you that are wanting that sort of an experience with all the other students, a nice community feel, very safe. And then, of course, the main thing is the next intake for this school is in fact in February. So they do also have a September intake for those of you that are doing your A-levels this year. But I know that a lot of you that have joined us are people that have finished their A-levels as well and are looking for something. Maybe they didn't quite get applications in time for October. But the good news is through ourselves, you can still apply for Riga Stradins University for this February. We've got loads of people applying so far. It's really popular. Let's have, a little bit more of a look into it. So here's some of the dental equipment you can see here. It's all the latest technology that they're using, what you'd expect from a top medical school within Europe. And you can see here a lot of the students working and practicing with different tools and things before they go on to working with real patients on the right. And here again, you can see a little bit more of the school and some of the lecture halls. Very traditional medical school, very prestigious. A really nice place, but with a very modern take on their education and also their support systems as well. Moving on from there, we've got again some more of the dental equipment that you can have a look through. Some of the students there, it looks like they're maybe seeing it for the first time, getting a glimpse into everything. And again, it's all state-of-the-art equipment that you're going to see everywhere you go when you go to work as a career afterwards. Now here you've got the surgical training room. So this is one of the essential parts for you medics out there. Again, this is something you've got to go through and pass all of your practical examinations and tests before you go on to doing your real clinical experiences. They've got tons of different simulation rooms and features available for you. So you're going to get a really vast form of practical as well as theoretical education. Of course, that's a really fundamental part of modern medical education, is bridging that gap between the theoretical and the practical parts. And again, here, the more photo about the clinical simulations, you've got to problem solve, even things like patient interactions is things that you'll be tested and trained on to ensure that when you go into the environment, you have complete confidence in how to empathize, understand and deal with a patient in real life. So going on from here, we've got some of the extracurricular activities. You can see here there's loads of different student associations. Riga has been doing their English Talk program now for many, many years. So they have a huge international following. Lots and lots of different students from all over the world, and lots of unions that you can join, clubs that you can be a part of, and communities. You can see lots of various different sports are available at the university. They have a winter ball, info fairs. They also have a lot of medical fairs and events that happen as well. Lots of conferences. They have a lot of guest doctors and speakers that come to the university that you have the opportunity to meet and greet and get to know and get some insight from them on their career. There's so much for you to go through. So it really is a school that we're really proud to work with them. We're really happy to be able to have the relationship that we have with the school and help students to go there. I've got a lot of students myself that have gone and studied at Riga that have had a fantastic experience. So if you feel like that's something that could be right for you, then please get in touch and we'd be happy to reach out. We did have a student that was going to speak for us this evening, but unfortunately they're not feeling too well, so they're not able to come with us. But on the next one, I'm sure we'll be able to get someone again, as we've had in previous webinars, which you can check on our YouTube channel if you want to get a bit more insight of what the experience is like over there from someone directly there. Okay, so moving on from that one then, the next one we've got, this was one of our most popular medical schools actually for this October intake. So it was Tbilisi Medical Academy. As the name suggests, this is in the capital city of Georgia, Tbilisi, which statistically is one of the safest capitals in the world. We get a lot of international students go through into this city every single year. They have, of course, English Talk courses. It's just for medicine in this one. There's no dentistry or pre-med course. It's just a medical course. There's no entrance exam because this one actually has an interview. So a lot of it is based on your academic achievements, but they're also going to look at you as a person and see how you are throughout the interview, which of course we help and train you to prepare for. So you'll be very well prepared when it comes to it. Tuition fees, as you can see here, around €6,700 per year. Cost of living around €600 a month. Again, they do have dormitories available for you, really nice dormitories that they've got with the school. And the next available intake is in March. However, they also have an intake in October for those of you still doing your A-levels. For the March intake, we are still taking applications at the moment, but they are getting taken up. So let us know sooner rather than later. If you are someone that's interested in the March intake, we can jump on an appointment and we can discuss and try and work out if it's the right school for you. Okay, so I've actually got a representative here today to speak a little bit more about it, so you don't just have to listen to my voice through the whole thing. The student is Ipaleng. Ipaleng, are you with us?
Hi, can you hear me?
We certainly can. How are you?
Hello?
Can you hear us?
Oh no, the connection.
Can you hear us all right? We'll just wait a second just to see if Ipaleng can
Hello,
come
sorry,
join
can
us.
you hear me now?
Yes,
Is
I can
everything
hear
good
you.
now?
Yes, we can hear you. Can you hear us?
Okay, yes, I can hear you now.
Okay, go for it. Tell us a bit about your experience.
My experience so far has been really, really good. It's crazy to believe that I was actually on this webinar like early January. Medlink helped me. We booked a meeting and everything, and they gave me options of different kinds of universities, and I chose Tbilisi. And immediately, like, they helped me with my flights and everything, and they gave me details about where they would meet me at the airport. And there was a driver there for me who transported me to the hotel, as well as showed me a bit of the university. The people here are really, really nice. The language is not that much of an issue because we do get taught Georgian language as an additional language at our university. Everyone is really friendly and very accepting, and my overall experience has been really, really good.
Fantastic. So did you mention you were actually watching our webinar back in January, back home in the UK?
Yeah, in South Africa, actually.
Oh, in South
yes.
Africa, sorry. My mistake. Okay, fantastic. And did that inspire you then to go on and make this decision?
Yeah, it did. Also, listening to like the other students' experiences did make me feel a bit more comfortable. So I was like, and there's the fact that we had a lot of support. I remember speaking to Daniela quite a few times, and a lot of people in your team as well, and just told me like everything, even in terms of like the interview, like the preparation, the material was given to me. So I was able to like prepare for that, and here I am now.
So what
everything's good.
Fantastic. Yeah, you seem very happy. So we're really happy to see you in that position. And what kind of things were you worried about beforehand, before you went over, and how did you find it now? Can you give us sort of a main concern that you had beforehand, before you went over?
I was just maybe worried about like how it was, like what I would expect. I wasn't sure because I've never like really traveled internationally speaking, and like what the procedure was, and like how would I get a visa and everything, and etc. like that. But as a result, like you guys did give us like a document explaining everything. Immediately when I arrived, I was really welcomed by everyone. You also gave us like information on like SIM cards, like health insurance, things that we as people wouldn't really think about immediately when we travel to an international country. So yeah, it's been really good.
Fantastic. I think one of the big concerns for people listening, because a lot of people don't know much about Georgia. It's not the most well-known country. I know we think it should be because of how incredible it is for our students. But a lot of people are worried that maybe it's not very safe. What's your experience been like in terms of how safe do you feel?
Yeah.
Do you feel safe over there?
My experience has been really good. Yes, I do feel very safe. I am safe most of the time. I'm able to even like go out in the evening around like 11 p.m. Racially speaking, I haven't experienced anything. Everyone's been really sweet to me and very kind. It's really, really safe.
Fantastic. And can you tell us a bit about the classes?
Hello?
I
Hello?
think there's
Sorry.
a bit of a delay. Can you hear me now?
Yeah. Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay. Can you tell us a bit about, have you started your lessons and things yet, or are you still just settling in over there at the moment?
I have started my lessons and everything. There's not the language is not an issue. The lecturers have been really helpful. When you have like issues, they try and break it down in such a way that you as a person can understand. And they always find different methods of explaining everything so that they really make sure that you understand. And they also give you the ability to kind of follow up if you're not sure about anything. So everything's really good. I can't complain.
Great. What would you say is your favorite part about what you're learning at the moment? Is there anything that's standing out to you that you're finding really interesting?
The thing that stood out to me was just how really nice everyone is. Like they always try and find ways to interact with you. And I think that was just really something I'm really appreciative, where they would teach you more about their culture and they would also be receptive to learn a bit more about your culture. So I think how hospitable everyone is really nice. That's the thing that stood out to me.
I think that's so important, isn't it? When you're so far away from your friends and your family, to have a community you go to as an international student and to be treated so nicely, that must help a lot.
Hello?
Is that why the smile is still on your face? You look very happy for a medical student.
Yeah.
Great. Well, thank you so much for joining us. I really want to keep up to date with how you're getting on in the course. Maybe we can.
Yeah, I try.
Good. I think there's a slight delay, so I'm going to leave you to it for now. Best of luck with the rest of your first semester. Please keep us updated on how it's going.
Sure, most definitely.
Thank you very much for joining us, Ipulang. Lovely to hear from you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So just to summarize, with Tbilisi Medical Academy, it was one of the first private medical institutions in Georgia. So they've got a bunch of experience, and this is one of the things that we really like about them. They have got a really good track record of doctors working in the UK and the USA and around the world, and they are incredibly supportive. I really encourage anyone that wants to learn more about the university to reach out to us and book an appointment, and also to see an interview that I did with one of the professors at the university a few months ago. It's on our YouTube channel. If you just type Medlink Students, you'll be able to find it there. And we go in depth a lot about sort of the classes, the structure, the teaching methods, and how everything works. Okay, so moving on from there, we're now going to speak about another incredibly popular university that we've been fortunate enough to work with now for a few years, and that is the European University in Tbilisi. Now, this is a fantastic and incredibly supportive school, again, located again in the capital city of Georgia, Tbilisi. Now, this university, you can study either medicine, or they also have a fantastic dental program that you can also be a part of, both completely taught in English. There is, again, no entrance exam. You're just looking at an interview and a personal statement process. Again, we guide you through the whole thing, so you've got nothing to worry about. Tuition fees are here, you can see slightly lower, so around 5,000 euros or 5,250 euros per year. And again, that's even less for dentistry. This is the fees for medicine. The dental courses are slightly lower than that, and we can discuss that with everyone that's interested. Cost of living, again, around 600 euros a month. They do have some great dormitories with this school. And again, the next intake is available in March. And they also have an intake in October for all of you finishing your A-levels. So we're actually really lucky this evening. We've got a few people to speak to from the European University, but I want to start by introducing Nino, the Dean of the Faculty of Medicine. Thank you, Nino, for joining us this evening. We really appreciate this. We know you have a very busy schedule. Can you tell us a little bit about your school?
Hello, everyone. First of all, it's my pleasure to be here today and to join your webinar. Thank you for all of you for your time and for joining us. I would say a few words about the Georgia. At the beginning, it was mentioned that Georgia is one of the safest country in East Europe, and I could honestly say, not as a representative of Georgia, but as a person who lives in Georgia more than 30 years from now, Georgia is one of the safest country for sure. So known with its hospitality, with its beauty and friendly environment. Right now at European University, we have two programs in English. One is medical doctor program, and also we have a dentistry program. The durations of the programs are slightly different. I mean, MD program is for 6 years, and DMD, I mean, dentistry program is for 5 years. The tuition fee is very affordable, as you saw already, and living costs are very, very affordable as well in Georgia, in Tbilisi. The university is located in capital city of Georgia. We have 2 main intakes per year. One was in October. We will start our semester just on Monday, and another one is in March. So we have very, very multicultural environment at the university, because right now we have around 3,000 students from different 75 countries. So that's the huge experience for our students to live abroad, to get new friends, to share their experiences, their history and culture to each other. We also have, of course, Georgian students as well. So the environment is very friendly at the university. All students who's going to join our study programs, they have their own study process manager who is taking care of them from the very beginning till the graduation. We can say that like that. So if they have any, if they need any support, if they have any questions or something like that, the manager is always ready to help them. So we have a few units at the university, and all units are responsible for in different directions. So if they need any support, we are always ready as a team to help them. The programs are fully in English, and the degree is in English as well. It's worldwide recognized because, you know, the Georgia is a member of European educational system from 2005. So that means that the degree which we provide after graduation is recognized not only in European countries, but in different countries as well. That's the reason why our graduates has already continued their studies and their career in the USA. Some of them came back to UK, some of them went back to their countries, and etc. So for the medical students, we have different buildings. Generally, the university has several campus, but for the medicine, we have separate campus. Also, we have dormitory for the international students. The program, I mean, medicine program is done like that. It's we can say divided into 2 parts. So first 3 years, students have opportunity to study some basic subjects to get some basic skills and basic knowledge. And last 3 years, they are having all clinical curations and rotation in our hospital. I would like to highlight that the European University is the only private university running its own hospital. It's called Joan University Hospital. We have 100 package of this hospital, and it's one of the most popular hospital in Georgia, by the way, which was founded around 30 years ago. So all students are very welcome to study with us, of course. The groups are, in each group, we have around 22 students, but in clinical skills, they are divided into 2 parts, and only 11 students are attending the class because they need to do some manipulations. They need to work with the mannequins and etc. So that's the reason why the groups should be smaller in this case. So the university has modern equipment such as anatomy table and 3D glasses for the anatomy studies, body interact, which we use mostly for the anatomy, physiology, and radiology studies. Of course, we have separate simulation center where the students have opportunity to work with the mannequins. And as I have already mentioned, this is the very beginning for them, but the last years they need to spend with the real patients and get some real experience in this case. We also have invited lecturers from the European countries. They are coming in each semester, sharing their experience, their knowledge with our students in different subjects. So we have already two invited lectures last week. They have just left, and we are still waiting 2 more lectures for the next week and in November as well. We have not only newcomer students, but also transfer students, because you have mentioned that the students have the opportunity to transfer from another university. So that's the reason why we have transfer students as well. All transfer students have individual study plan, and they are following the study plan, and we are making some special timetable for them to follow this individual study plan as flexible as much as they can, and as much as we can, to arrange the timetable for them. So all students are very welcome. We have plenty of students from Medlink, and they are really satisfied. They are really friendly, and I'm sure they are. They will have, maybe not on this webinar, but for the future, they will have the opportunity to share their experience with you. Thank you once again. If you're going to have any additional questions, here I am to answer all your questions. Thank you, and good luck to you all.
Nino, thank you so much for that insight. I'm not even sure where to begin with that. There were so many benefits, so many innovative features that you're doing, and especially what you mentioned then with the transferring. I know from experience, I've had so many students that have been helped so much by your faculty and your university with their study plans, because transfers are such a complicated process and they're in such a difficult position in a lot of cases. So thank you so much for that. Would you give any advice for students that are thinking to apply to the university? What kind of advice would you give them?
Well, the admission process is quite, let's say, easy. They do not have to take any exam. They just will have some interview in English to check their English knowledge, also to see how ready they are to join the study process at the European University. So my advice will be to, if they feel that they are ready to become a doctor, because it's not easy to do, right? So that's the huge responsibility for the future. And if they are ready to study hard, because it's not easy to study at the European University, because, you know, for us, our alumni are the most important persons, let's say, at the university, because this is the final and last outcome of the program. If you see that you have successful graduates, that means that the program works. So if they are ready to be our graduate students for the future, so they need to take their time. They don't need to waste the time, because you, as you know, and you know better, that admission process sometimes takes a month or more. So they need to collect all required documents. They need to prepare for the interview, and they need to be enrolled at the European University and study very, very hard, because, you know, as I have already mentioned, to become a doctor, it's not easy to do. So all of them are very welcome, and if they are ready, they need to do that. Thank you.
Nino, thank you so much for your insight again, and for sharing that time. It's really been a pleasure listening to everything you have to say about the school, and I'm sure a lot of students now will be thinking of getting their applications in so they can secure their spot. We can now, for all of you to know, we can take admissions for this March as well as next October. So if any of you are interested, please book in a call with us. Bring all your questions. I hope some of you have written some down, and we can discuss them all on our appointments. Okay, so we've also got a couple of students that we're going to be able to speak to. The next student around is Navneet. Navneet, are you with us? Navneet, are you here?
Hi.
Hi, Navneet. How are you doing?
I'm good. Can you see me?
Yes, we can see you clearly.
Perfect. I'm good. Thank you. How are you?
Very well, thank you. So, can you tell us a bit about the course that you're studying and your experience so far?
Yeah, so I'm currently in my 5th semester of dentistry at European University. I'm a transfer student. So in the UK, I actually had I had a biomedical science degree. So I was able to transfer directly into the 4th semester of dentistry here at Tbilisi. And you could say I'm halfway. I've got another 5 semesters left till I graduate. And honestly, I've just literally, it's been a month since I'm back here after my break in the summer from semester 4. And the course is going really well. I really enjoy being here at European University. I would say I was really anxious in the beginning of semester 4 because it was more like I didn't know what type of students would be here, but there's a very nice community of abroad students because I didn't even know Georgia was a country before applying to study here. But honestly, yeah, because every time you tell someone I study in Georgia, they're like, oh, America, but no, it's Georgia, the country. And but yeah, honestly, it's a really nice tourist attraction as well. There are a lot of people that come to Tbilisi and Batumi. And yeah, I do really enjoy university here. And I think the course is going really well.
Good. And what's the lifestyle like there for you? Do you feel safe in the city?
Yeah, definitely. Actually, to be honest, before I even came here, Medlink actually put me in touch with a few of the students, a few females, males from semesters above. And you could literally walk on the street at 11 or 12 at night. And it's completely safe. Especially here in the capital city in Tbilisi, there's no issue of safety. We haven't encountered any racism here. It's actually a really nice, friendly environment. And I think because you get taught Georgian as part of the course as well, it becomes really easy to communicate with people. When you go to the shops, it's actually really, really, it makes it really easy and it's quite fun as well.
So would you say, is it difficult living in the UK and then living in Georgia? Is it quite different, or is it quite an easy change for you?
So I would say it's quite different, only because when you've been in the UK for so long, because I did university there as well, I didn't really live out in UK at university, so I was always home. And then I think one of the biggest changes is when you move out and you come to a country like Georgia, it's very different in lifestyle and you become very independent. But I think there's a lot that you can learn from that. And it's actually a really fun process as well, because there's things that you never think that you thought you weren't capable of doing, half the things that you could when you come and live here by yourself. And it's actually, I think, because you have a lot of support from other students and your study managers, because here at European University you get allocated a study manager as well, and then you can be in contact with the dean as well of whether you decide to do medicine or dentistry. So there's a lot of help available. I mean, Medlink are always an email away as well, and they tend to reply really quickly and help you sort out any issues. So it's actually, it's not as difficult as I thought it would be.
Great. And obviously the weather's much better over there compared to the UK as well, right?
Oh, it's really cold now, Tom. It's actually really cold. But yeah, when you do call back home in London, they do say that the weather's getting bad there as well. But I mean, Georgia does have, really, really hot summer and a really cold winter, but it's nice. There's a bit of snow here sometimes too, so it's quite nice.
Nice. Okay. And in terms of the actual teaching, how have you found it yourself? How have you experienced? You went a little bit on it at the beginning. What's it been like for you?
Yeah, so the course is completely taught in English, so it was really easy to understand. And it's, everything is broken down for you. You're in touch with the teachers all the time. You have lectures, you have practicals. They even help you do recovery lessons if there's anything that you miss. So there's lots of exemptions as well. I think during COVID, there were a lot of classes online as well for the students that I spoke to from previous semesters. So there's always a way to work around things. And I think this university is a great example of, because I'm in touch with students from other universities in Tbilisi as well, but this university is really helpful when it comes to a study program, and they help you during the registration process when you decide what modules you want to study and what you want to do that semester. So it's very helpful.
Fantastic. Now, one thing I know a lot of students are going to be asking about, I've seen quite a few ask about already, so we'll answer it now, is what's it like with the distance? Obviously from the UK to Georgia, how do you cope with that? Because you seem very happy over there. A lot of people from the UK, they're worried because it's obviously further than Bulgaria, for example. How do you manage that?
So Georgia is quite a distance. I think it takes about, well, on average, it's about a 7 or 8 hours flight. It's not a direct flight. It'll stop off at Turkey and it'll come here. But I think, to be honest, when you are here in Georgia and you're busy at university, studying, going to university every day, you tend to not go home back that often anyway, because you're so busy. But even if you do, it's kind of because you look forward to going home so much. I feel like distance hasn't really been a problem for me. It's more, it is far, but I feel like there's nothing here in Georgia that would make you miss London as such, because it's more everything here. Everything's available here. There's help here. There's really nice hospitals here as well, you know, just in case of any emergency. I think it's a really convenient place to be, especially because it's in the capital city. Distance, yeah, at first when I told my parents about Tbilisi, they were like, oh, it's, you know, it's all the way in Asia. But when you do come here, when you start studying, you do go back, obviously, after you finish your, when you had your final exams. That was the first time that I went back from Tbilisi to London. And because I was so excited, I didn't even think about the time, but I don't think it's not much of an issue for me personally.
I think it's one of those things people worry about a lot more before they make it a much bigger thing in their mind. Once they're an
I
actual
don't think
student.
it's that much. It's not that big of a deal. As when you think about it, thinking how far away from home you're going to be, then it's like, you know, it's quite scary. But once you're here, once you're settled, it's literally, it's a flight away.
Just a flight away. Fantastic. So what advice then, if you're to sum up the main thing that you would say for someone who's arriving in Georgia, let's say in the March intake, what advice would you give for them when they arrive?
So I arrived in the March intake as well earlier this year for semester 4, and I wasn't that worried because I think one of the other students from the other university in Tbilisi also mentioned there's a driver literally waiting for you when you come to the airport, provided by Medlink. They help you drop you off to your accommodation, you know, help you top up your SIMs when you come here, because it's more, I think the first thing that students think about when they come is their phones, you know, how they're going to get in touch with the family back home and, you know, where am I going to go from here? So they help you as soon as you land, you know, you get your luggage, they help you with your SIMs, they help you drop you off to your accommodation. So even if you haven't, so I initially had an accommodation, you know, Medlink helped me find some places. So I actually rented mine out before I came. So I was able to get dropped off straight there. But there are some students that I know that got dropped off to the hotel. And then there are estate agents that Medlink puts you in touch with as well to help you find properties in your budget. So the process was really, really smooth. And then obviously, even the dorms, they're not far away from the university campus at all. So the next day you can literally pop into university, speak to anyone. Everyone's so helpful and, you know, makes the journey much smoother.
Great. And you're going to be starting your clinical experience soon then, right?
Yeah, so they have intensive courses here at European University, which include clinical practice. So it's like when you do a module, you know, you spend the whole semester doing the module from the beginning to the end, let's say throughout the 4 months. But an intensive course is when you study a module within like a specific time period, 10 to 15 days. And in that time, you do so I'm a dentistry student, so I'll be in dental clinics, doing some clinical experience, obviously having the theoretical side of things, and then sitting a midterm exam and a final exam within that time period as well. So I'm looking forward to that. It's going to be my first intensive soon. Things do get, it's not always easy. Obviously, when you're doing a degree like dentistry and medicine, nothing's going to be easy. But if you discipline yourself to kind of stay on top of it, get the help that you need, that's really important, because I feel like a lot of students kind of get afraid when they go abroad. They're a bit afraid to kind of go and contact, you know, the student managers or the lecturers, and they always feel like there's a bit of a language barrier but honestly, they're really, really helpful.
Fantastic. Namni, thank you so much for sharing your experiences with us. We all want to hear from you when you start your clinical experience. So once you've done a little bit of it, if you've got enough time still to spare for us, we would love to hear how you get on with all of your dentistry clinicals that you'll be doing with the university. It will be an amazing insight.
Thank you, Tom.
Thanks. Okay, so we've now got Lagjaja, who's going to speak a little bit about medicine. Are you with us?
Hi.
Hey, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good. How are you?
Very well, thanks. So you are a medical student at the European University in Tbilisi, right?
Yeah.
Great. How are you finding it?
So I came in the March intake earlier this year, and I've literally settled in so well. Everyone's been great. it's honestly, like as Nav said before, it's honestly not as big of a jump as you would think it is. I came straight out of A levels. I waited a couple of months and then came into Georgia, and honestly, it was the best thing I ever did. Like, I was planning on waiting until the next intake, but I'm so glad that I took that jump and made it into the March intake. It's been so great. The uni, like everything that you're afraid of, like when you land in Georgia and you do everything for yourself, it's honestly been amazing. The lecturers have been great there. We as Nav said before, we learn Georgian as well, so language isn't a problem. There are so many students here from different areas, from the UK and from other countries. You make friends immediately. I think that was one thing that I was scared of. And honestly, there are so many people in your boat that you just go into uni and everyone's so friendly, and it's such like a nice community, and it's just so easygoing.
Fantastic. Now, one thing you mentioned then that was very intriguing in the beginning was that you were really glad that you went and started last March. So just, what was that, 6 months after your A-levels, instead of taking a whole gap year.
Yeah.
Can you tell us why you thought that was the best decision for you? Because I have a lot of people thinking about doing that at the moment.
Yeah. So basically what had happened was I just was initially planning on waiting for the full year. I was like, it's such a rushed decision. I don't know much about the country. I didn't know anyone that had studied before there either. So I was like, am I rushing into this? But honestly, I just did it on a whim. And Medlink also, they didn't push me, but they did advise me, like, it will be whatever I'm doing in March was going to be the same that I was going to do in that October. There was not going to be a big difference. And by the time I would have gone in October, I would have finished a whole semester. Right now I'm in semester 2, and going in March, like, obviously it was scary, but once you get in and uni starts, it's honestly you just have the best time. You go into uni, you do the course that you love, like, and you make so many friends there. It's just such like a welcoming place.
Fantastic. Yeah, you seem really, really happy about it. I mean, I think there's a trend. Everyone seems too happy for medical and dental students. You should all be more stressed than this, I think. But maybe you're good at hiding it. But in terms of, obviously, we've heard a lot this evening about inside the schools. What is life like in Tbilisi outside of the classroom? What's the social life like for you?
Yeah, so 100% coming from London, where it is a big social life, I was a little bit wary of the social life in Georgia. I was like, I just didn't know how similar it was going to be to London. But honestly, from going to my social life from London to Georgia, it is the best thing. That I could not fault it. Everything you would expect in a social life, in a nightlife, is all hits. As Nav said before as well, it is a tourist attraction. We are in the capital city, so we go out all the time. It is obviously really hard to balance both uni and nightlife as well, but you do make time for it, and it is honestly the best thing. Like, clubs and restaurants and bars and whatever you would do in London, it's all here as well. It is not as big of a difference as it would seem going from London to Georgia. And yeah.
Cool. So would you say it was quite easy for someone who's just coming completely on their own, as most of the students are? Is it quite easy for them to get settled in, make friends, and go out as if they were at a UK university?
100%. I think 100%. I've spoken to other students as well who are from Medlink, who are going into the March intake, and 100% they had the same concerns. And I would agree that it is just so easy to get settled in, and half the problems that you think of are just from overthinking, and half of them don't even come up. Like, I know my biggest concern was making friends and going on nights out and whatever it was, just like a normal 18-year-old would think of. And it's just been everything and more. Like, you go out at night and it is a safe country. Like, there is nothing to worry about. I know that's one of the main concerns my parents had about the country in general anyways, and it is the safest thing. We go out at 12 in the night, come back whenever. It's so safe. You could walk down the road at night and like it's just so safe. Club wise as well, it's been great. Just social life in general has been amazing.
Perfect. It's great to hear you've had such a positive experience, especially coming from somewhere like London, which is obviously worldwide known to be such a big city. So being used to something like that and then knowing that Tbilisi is a good transition is great for a lot of people listening. In terms of the actual sort of clubs and societies and things with the university, is there anything you've been able to get involved in with that so far?
Yep, so they actually offer a lot of exchange programs that I think we're about to go on in semester 2, but there's also a lot of medical clubs, sports societies, literally just everything. They also do a lot of debates that a lot of students have participated in. Pretty much everything. I know one of my friends are really into running and they do like a running society, and yeah.
Nice. And with your accommodation, I wanted to ask a bit more about this because, again, a lot of people are worried about where they're going to live and how they sort it out. But with you, are you staying in the dormitories or did you get your own apartment?
So I've personally got my own apartment, but with my friends, it's literally half-half. So half of them are in dorms and then half of them are in their own apartments. Honestly, it is on your preference. For me, because I was on a whim, I applied really late. It was such like a last minute thing. But honestly, like, my friends have the best time in dorms. Like, it's honestly just like a UK dorm standard. And honestly, if you are scared of making friends, I would suggest dorms more than apartments, only because everyone is in the same boat as you and everyone is so nice in dorms that they'll 100% look out for you if you have any questions, anything like that. Literally, dorms is the place. Like, they will help you out. So if you are worried about making friends, any of that, I would suggest dorms. Or if you did want something maybe a little bit closer to uni, I would also suggest apartments. For me, it was a big jump coming straight out of A levels, living with my parents, and then suddenly being on my own.
Yeah, we want to hear how have you found it being in your own apartment?
Honestly, I came on my own as well, and it was a little bit weird at the start, but honestly, once uni starts, you're so focused on uni, you just get into that routine. It is just the norm now. It did take maybe like a week or two to get used to it 100%, whether it would be in dorms or apartment, it would have been the same. But honestly, I wouldn't change any of it.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for sharing your experiences with us. Again, please keep in touch. We'd love to hear more about how you get on. And yeah, best of luck with it all. I'm not sure you need any luck. You seem like you're having such a good time, doing so well, but I'll give you it anyway. So thank you for sharing with us today.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so moving on now, we're going to be looking at a university a little bit closer to the UK again, based in Poland. And my colleague Dana is going to go over that. Just before we do, we've got a few of the key points here about the European University. Of course, you've all heard so many benefits already about the city and about the medical schools in Georgia. Some fantastic opportunities and some of the most supportive schools I think we've ever worked with. So thank you to everyone for sharing their experiences. Thank you again to Nino for sharing your part about the European University. It's been fantastic to hear about it all. And again, you can see plenty of other key points and benefits here. Okay, so Dana, over to you to hear a little bit about Poland.
Thank you, Tom. So another very popular university we have in Poland is Silesia Medical University. Silesia is located in a city called Katowice, and they have a 6-year medicine course, and they have a February intake open for medicine. We're about to close the medicine intake for February, so it's still time for you to apply. You still have the time if you're interested to study medicine. They also have a dentistry course, which is 5 years long, and a pharmacy degree. They also have an entrance exam. An entrance exam is to test your basic knowledge in biology and chemistry that, as we've mentioned throughout the webinar, we will be helping you prepare for this exam. Tuition fees are quite affordable in Poland. In Silesia, they range between 11,000 to 12,000 euros a year. And the cost of living is usually around 600 euros a month, covering like your apartment, if you're renting a private apartment, if with the living expenses, goes up and down depending on a student. And they do have their own dorms, a common question that students ask. So next intake we have for medicine is the February intake. And that exciting thing we have today is we have a student from Silesia to share her experience with us. Anina?
Hi.
Hi, Anina. Yes, we can hear you. Can you tell us a little bit more about your experience in Silesia, Anina?
Yeah, I mean, it's been really, really good. I'm very happy that I'm quite close to home. Like, I say quite, it's around a 3-hour flight, which isn't really that bad. And there's always flights to go back home. And about our university in particular, like, we're quite lucky because the first 2 years in the course that I'm doing, it's like pre-med. So you have like quite a lot of free time, which some people might say is good, some people might say is bad, but like when you're in a new environment and if you've never lived alone and you're in a new country, I genuinely think the extra time is so good. Like, it lets you assimilate so much more with the culture and the country that you're in. Like, you get to learn the language and you get to know the city so much more. So honestly, I've really been enjoying it.
Amazing. Good to hear that. Language. Students want to understand what's required from you to apply there.
Honestly, all you need to do is to be able to speak English, which I'm sure all of you can do. Like, everyone speaks English, the professors all speak English, so, and the secretaries, they all speak English, so everyone, and pretty much all the younger generation in Poland speak English, so honestly, there's no issues with the language requirements. If you guys can speak English, you're fine.
Lovely. And can you tell us a little bit more about the city itself in Katowice?
Yes, so Katowice is like 1 hour from Krakow on bus, which is pretty amazing. Like, we always go to Krakow because we have, like I said, we have a lot of spare time, but it's also really cheap to go back and forth. Like, it's maybe about €4 with your £4. Sorry, I'm so used to speaking euros now because everyone here is from Europe. £4 with your student card, so it's really not that bad. And it's like, there are so many different restaurants here, and there's a massive mall, and honestly there's so many activities to do. And in summer there's the park and the lakes, and there's a lot of, it's not like a city with nothing to do. Like, trust me, you will always find something you can do.
Lovely, fantastic. Well, that's great to hear, because I get a lot of students asking me, since it's not the capital, is there a mall over there? Is there activities to do?
There's like 50 malls here, so like
amazing. And do you want to tell us a little bit about the safety? I see a lot of questions coming in here from students. Can you tell us about the safety in the city and the support you get in the university?
I mean, I've never really felt unsafe. Like, the university is really good. Like, they help you with everything. Like, they help you with all your applications for like visas and stuff like that. But I've never really felt unsafe. Like, sometimes I think I probably felt more unsafe in England than I have here. But like here, like, we're walking at like 2 a.m., 3 a.m. and no one really. I've never felt unsafe. And there's also like so many, like, the cabs here are so cheap, so you can literally buy taxis for so cheap. Like, even in the middle of the night, they are available. So I don't think it's like an unsafe area at all.
Well, fantastic. Looks like you're having great experience. What would you have as advice for students coming this February?
Honestly, like, I would just say yes to everything. Like, where I live specifically, it's like a student accommodation, and they have a lot of opportunities for you to do loads of things. And they have some, at the beginning I was really reluctant to say yes, but honestly, like now I'm so happy that I said yes, especially now because I have the free time. I said yes to everything. I've literally met like the most incredible people I've ever met in my life, and I've done so many cool things. Like there are stupid things here, even like bubble football, which is like where you have like a plastic thing over your head and you're basically just bouncing off each other. Like it's stupid, but like you'd never do it if you weren't told about it. Like, do you know what I mean? It's like just say yes to everything. Like you won't regret it.
Amazing. Well, thanks for sharing this experience, Anina. Appreciate it, and look forward to see you again in the future.
Thank you.
All right, so just look at some key points of why study in the University of Silesia. So basically, there's many advantages, as Anina has informed us. One of them is the diverse environment that you get to experience, a European degree that's recognized worldwide, affordable tuition fees, safety, and many other things. So feel free, after hearing all about these universities and all the brilliant options that we've discussed, thank you to all the students. It's been an amazing experience. We've heard from every single one. Feel free to book a call with us so we can discuss the perfect option for you, and maybe we see you next time on our next webinar. If we can put the QR code here for students to scan, and if you don't manage to scan the QR code, you can send an email to inquire@medlinkstudents.com. So inquire@medlinkstudents.com, or you can scan the QR code here. Moving on from here, we will be talking about how we can help you, how Medlink students can help. So basically, when you decide that you want to study medicine and for some reason you don't manage to get into your home country because of the competition, students come to us to inquire about the option of Europe. You will get free consultation with expert advisors who've helped thousands and hundreds of students throughout these years to listen to their experiences and see what kind of criteria they look for and what university would be best for them. We will get on a call. It's free consultation, whether it takes one call or 2 calls or 3 calls, we will always be here for you to help you finalize your decision and find the perfect university for you. And then we will have, once you decide which university you want to apply to, we will have a team of expert admission who specialize in the university that you're applying for. As we saw earlier, we have our colleague Daniela and many other admission people who work really hard to finalize students' documents, where they handle everything from A to Z. Literally, you don't have to lift a finger. They do all the legal paperwork. Even if there's an entrance exam or an interview, we have material prepared for you to help you prepare, so you can pass this exam with flying colors, just ace it. And they also create a strong competitive file for you, help you build a strong cover letter, CV, and helping in every aspect of the application itself and the paperwork to make sure that we get you into the university and get you accepted. We also have an amazing part of Medlink. What students love about us is, what differentiates us is that we are from the field. Just like yourself, students who've been in your position before, they will be meeting you at the airport, they will pick you up, take you for a tour around the city, introduce you to our team over there. You can see here our pictures of our people of our team who are helping students. They're always very happy and passionate to see the students achieve their dreams. They work really hard to make sure we give you the best experience possible, make it a smooth move from your home to Europe, make it very smooth, very easy, and a fun experience. A lot of students worry about it, but we try to make it as fun as possible. And as you can see, the students earlier, everyone's more than happy where they are, enjoying their experiences, they have their friends. So you will have full support on ground. You will meet all the students who went before and make friends from day one. You will be assisted to open a new bank account, apply for the residency permit, and so on. For 6 years, while you study at the university, we work hand in hand with the universities together, with our team on ground and with the universities, deans and rectors and staff, to make sure that we provide our students the best experience possible. So feel free to book a call. Don't hesitate to go to Europe. It's a lovely, amazing experience based on students' feedback that we've seen, and we've always been speaking to students and we see how happy they are abroad. So let's go together through this journey and let's get on a call, discuss your options and get you started. So I'll move on from here and hand it on to Edmund.
Thank you, Dana. Thank you very much for everyone that's actually joined. There's been a lot of questions that's come in, and we're so happy to see all the questions come in and all of you guys has been inspired to come through. So we're going to pick a couple of questions and then go through them. There's so many coming through, so we'll pick the most commonly asked questions that's come through, and then we'll go through them all. All right. So one of the questions that's been asked is, can I work while studying? I am assuming you're talking about in general. This is a question that we get asked a lot, and I know my colleague Tom and Dana, all the other colleagues here, we have to, of course, go through this with you depending on the school. So I'll bring my colleague Dana to answer this question. Can you work whilst you study?
Good question, by the way. And when I'm on the phone with students, a lot of students ask me this question. Even though they have the support of family, they feel like they want to do something, they want to work and make some money while they're there. So a very good question. And the answer here is yes. Now, a lot of students do different things. Some students do tutoring while they're over there. They're very good at biology, for example, or anatomy or physiology. So they tutor other students and take a small amount of money where they can at least make their living expenses. Also, an exciting thing I've heard from a student, he told me, we're in a generation where everything's online. So I have a job online where I work. I don't have to physically go to an office. I work from home according to my timetable, according to my free time. And also other students, what they say based on their feedback, like I hear students' experiences about this, is a lot of students tell me, I like to focus on my studies during the academic year. And during the summer, there's a long holiday. It's around 2 months, 2.5 months. So they kind of do a full-time job when they go back home. They try to find a job that's in a lab or in a hospital. They can gain more experience and make money full-time. And then when they go during the academic year, the year after, they have time to focus on their studies. So the answer here is yes, depends on what you're looking for. But yeah, you can work while you study.
Fantastic. Thank you, Dana. We'll answer one more question, and we have one of the recent graduates actually here to talk about their experiences, which is really exciting. So the other question that's been asked is there any funding that's available? Perhaps good chance to mention affordability and scholarships with Medlink students. Great question. Now, it depends on the country you're coming from. So I'll take the UK as an example. When you're coming from the UK, if you want to go study abroad in English, you are considered as an international student. So because of that, you have to self-fund. Now, 10 years ago, maybe even 12 years ago, a lot of these universities would attract students with scholarships, bursaries, all sorts. Now, if you fast forward now, these schools are very well established. So things like scholarships are only given usually after the initial year of the student's performance, because they have to look at it from the academics. You've come into the school, we need to see how well of a student you're going to be. So if you're able to excel in it, then the university can offer some sort of scholarship. But this is, of course, subject to your performance and the university's own discretion. But these are all options that we have. These are all absolutely self-funded. And you can, as Dana mentioned with the tuition fees, these can range from 3,000 all the way to 20,000. We can have a chat with you depending on your budget and where you're looking to go. All right. So we have one of our recent graduates who has just finished in Bulgaria, and he's a dentist, and he's here to talk about his experience studying abroad and what the registration has been, the process has been for him in the UK. So we have Dr. Ivan. Dr. Ivan, are you here?
Hello, Edmund. How are you?
Hello, doctor.
See you again.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. I've come here a couple of times before as a student, so now I'm happy to say,
now,
as a doctor, I'm joining you again.
Congratulations. How does it feel?
It's amazing. It's been a wonderful, wonderful journey for me for the past 6 years, and I would say I would never regret this decision in my life.
What can you give us kind of a brief overview about your experience studying abroad, and what made you actually go abroad to study eventually?
So I'm a very like a family person, you know, and I've come out of my comfort zone to go study abroad, just so I can build up myself into becoming a better person, a better doctor in the future, especially because like being home all the time, you're not gonna get more experience as much as you're studying abroad. You're gonna learn more things. You're gonna meet new people. You're gonna learn more about cultures, how to talk, how to communicate. I'm a very social, anxious person, so doing that also helped me a lot. And I've met really a lot of wonderful people. I've learned a lot. And the university that I went to, which is Foreign Medical University, I would say it's helped me a lot, and I've learned many things throughout the past 6 years.
Fantastic, and it's great that you say that you're very family orientated.
I am
100% of the students that we deal with, they're very close to their family. So leaving home is very tough.
I've even made my own family here, you know, like my friends.
Exactly. And so as you are now a graduate, you're a doctor, you're a dentist. It's amazing.
Yeah.
How was your process in kind of coming back to the UK to register? And how has Medlink Students also helped you in this process?
Oh, okay. So this process was 100% easy. I literally graduated a week ago, like 2 weeks ago, a week and a half ago. And I've already found a job, and my GDC is already completed. And the GDC is basically the license to study as dentist in the UK. And all thanks to you guys, obviously, Medlink, you helped me get my GDC and find me a job. And this job is basically a really big clinic. Like they have multiple clinics, like it's a company with multiple clinics. And I've already found me a job where I have my own mentor, I have courses and everything. So it's very helpful. I'm extremely, extremely excited to start working. And I can't wait. I'm just waiting for my work visa.
Oh, fantastic. We are really excited for you to start as well. And I know we can tell from the smile as well that you're really happy about really starting. And could you tell us a bit more about the type of job that you've got?
I'm going to become a full-time dentist, and basically I can attend as many as 3 days a week to 5 days a week, or 6 or 7, and depending on how many times I attend, I earn more money, obviously. So that's good. And I can also work with private patients, but I'm going to take also like % of the income from that. So it's going to be a very, very unique and extremely helpful experience with my life.
Wow, this sounds like an amazing opportunity.
Yeah.
Whereabouts in the UK is this going to be?
It's close to. I found a clinic close to London. It's in a city called Bedford, near Luton, actually. It's called Bedford.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be over there.
Ah, amazing. And the final question for you, Doctor, is, you know, there are students, parents, all of them watching this, very reluctant, some of them will be, in going abroad for 6 years. You did it. You came out of your comfort zone, as you say. What advice do you have for them, the ones that are reluctant to go?
Just do it, I would say. Even I did it, so you can also do it. You know, as you can see, I'm a very shy person, and I'm a very family person. So it was a very difficult process for me. And if I could do it, I would say you guys could do it. And you're gonna learn so much. And I hope for the best for you guys. That's it. And also like since the beginning, Medlink has helped me with the registration, with the entrance exam, all the way till now. So I'm very, very glad that you guys helped me, and I hope I can help you guys more in the future with these type of webinars, so I can help more people. Yes.
Thank you so much, Doctor. And we're excited for you to start your journey, as you've got a job already, and we can't wait to see what you do. Thank you so
Maybe
much for joining us.
maybe in a year's time I can join again and tell you how it works.
Yes, thank you. We're always welcome to having you join us. Thank you so much. All right, so we have another student who's also willing to talk about their experience and also answer some questions as well. They'll be going through some of the Q&A because we have so many questions coming in. We have Elsa from Medical University of Silesia. Elsa, are you with us?
Hi, I'm with you.
Hello, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
Thank you very much for asking. So, can you tell us a brief overview of how your experience has been at the Medical University of Silesia? Are you doing medicine or dentistry?
I'm doing medicine.
How long have you been there?
So I'm in my second semester, so I'm still first year, and then I've got these few months before going into my second year.
Oh,
I
brilliant.
will
And
say
how's the experience been so far?
I'd say at first, coming to the country was quite overwhelming. I just looked at everything and I was like, oh my gosh, there's not going to be any English speaking people. But actually, there were quite a few people who spoke English. I was quite pleasantly surprised. And the Polish community were quite supportive and friendly as well. So if you're getting lost, if you're taking the bus, if you are struggling to even find a classroom, even the Polish students will help you out where they can. So it is quite a supportive environment. And I was quite pleased with how our course is structured because I thought, okay, medical school is going to be difficult. It's going to be something which is daunting, but it's actually quite manageable. They start off and they ease you in slowly. So you get used to it as it gets more demanding.
Fantastic. And a question that's coming for you is there a language barrier? And do you learn the language whilst you're studying?
You do learn the language while you study. So if you've started your degree in the first year to begin with, then yes, you will have Polish classes once a week. And it's normally a couple of hours. Sometimes it's a bit longer. And they teach you the basics of Polish. And the idea is hopefully you're fluent enough to be able to communicate with Polish people, patients, so you're able to understand what's going on and really engage with the community around you.
Ah, fantastic. One more question for you. What obstacles have you faced being there so far? And what did you do to kind of overcome that?
I think it's really important when you're going to a foreign country and you don't know anyone there to do your best to make friends, to meet people. So even though, be it medicine or dentistry, is very demanding and time consuming, you need to make sure you have that work-life balance and attend activities, even if it's something organized by the university or some sort of social activities going on outside. I think that's something which would help a lot of new students to meet other people just like them.
Ah, brilliant. Any advice for the students that are prospective students that are watching this and also reluctant to go abroad? Any advice at all?
Yeah, I mean, when I applied to medical school, I was 18. I applied in the UK and I didn't get in. So then I decided to go abroad. At this point, I was 20. And I thought, oh, I'm 20, I'm an adult, but I'm only 20. It's only 2 years of being an adult. This is going to be hard, but I'm here. I'm still here. There's many times where I thought, oh, I can just go home, but you will get through it. There's been many people who've done it before, and there are going to be people who can support you. And the best advice I can give you is speak to people in the years above because they've been through what you're going through, and they'll be able to guide you and give you useful resources to help you throughout your journey.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Elsa, for sharing your time with us. We know being a medical student, you guys are always busy, but it's great to have you join us and at least inspire some of the students who are watching tonight to be able to perhaps even join you next year. Thank you.
No problem.
All right. So I've been told that we have another student who's actually in the process of graduating soon, studying dentistry in Bulgaria. And she's here also to share her experience with us. May, are you here with us?
Hello, good evening. Yes, I am.
Oh, hello. So thank you so much. I know being a 6th-year student, you're busy. You're in the hospital almost every day. But thank you for spending a few minutes with us. Could you tell us a bit about your experience so far,
Yes.
being in Varna Medical University?
Good evening, everyone. My name is May, and I'm originally from the UK, but I'm a multinational background. Let's say I'm half Persian, quarter Italian, quarter German. My experience in Bulgaria, I'm studying dentistry, and I'm in my last year, and I'll graduate next May, has really been, let's say, a long, intense journey, but very rewarding as well, especially for dental school. From fourth year, you start seeing patients, and this is the turning point of becoming a dentist, really. So you start to learn and develop so many different skills, like organizational skills, communicational skills. You learn how to manage your time with patients. So you really develop as a person, both clinically and develop other skills that you can implement into your practice after finishing. There are so many students from all different nationalities. You can make friends from all different parts of the world, and you're all in the same boat, really. So it's important to support one another rather than compete with one another. Yeah, so far I'm nearly towards the end. I can see the light at the end of the tunnel, and we're nearly there.
Fantastic. And as you are in the final year, you've seen it all. You've done first year, second year, you've seen the different types of, were there any kind of challenges that you faced during your time and what you did to kind of overcome them?
Yeah, so the first challenge was actually finding our own patients. So that's a slight difference compared to the for example, a UK university for dental school. So here we actually have to, I don't know, find different creative ways, make our own business cards, advertise on Facebook, go and hold workshops for kids, somehow trying to integrate with the locals, trying to establish a bond of trust and encouraging them to visit a student to the clinic for us to do their treatment. So that was a big challenge, but once you find your way, and it just takes one happy patient, and then they'll spread the word, you know, to aunts, to grandma, to grandparents, to children, and everyone comes to you. So
I'm so glad that you said this, and of course the reassuring thing was, you know, it takes one happy patient, and you know, someone listening to this now who's new think I have to find my own patients, but of course. Can you tell us when you first kind of discovered that? How did you feel? What did you do? And how did you kind of overcome? Now you're in sixth year, so you must have gone through it all.
Of course. So from fourth year, it was very sort of overwhelming because it was, as I said before, it was the turning point of the dentist in the making. So it was all down to us. We were in control of our own progress. So if we didn't find a patient, we wouldn't be working. So it was all down to us to find our unique way in trying to create a sort of patient, you know, network, really. And so at first, yes, it was daunting, a little bit overwhelming, but you can overcome this, you know, supporting one another with all your other colleagues because you're all in the same boat, and just step by step, take it step by step. And once you find the best way, if I can do it, you can all do it as well. Like sixth year, now it's quite easy. It's like a walk in the park and patients are just coming in, you know. So my advice would be just take it slow. But through this challenge, you will grow as a person, you will develop as a person, and it will be easier when you set foot into the workplace in the future.
Fantastic. Yes, that's very true. Any advice that you have for any reluctant students who's thinking, maybe I'll just keep retrying in the UK because I'm scared of going abroad? Is there any advice you have for them?
If you're a risk taker, if you're adventurous, then go for it. Don't have any second thoughts. If you have a dream of becoming a doctor or a dentist, it doesn't really matter wherever you study. I mean, if you get into the UK, that's great. But if you can get into another university to study your first option of dentistry and medicine, then it's a great achievement in itself. And we'll be, the future doctors and dentists. So concentrate on your main goal. And if one route or one door closes, find another door that will open.
Amazing. Thank you. Thank you so much, May, for joining us and for sharing your experience. We can't wait to see what your journey unfolds and where you end up. And we're excited for you. And so thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Have a lovely evening.
Thank you. So let's go back to the Q&A. Another question that we're asked now is, are the 2 Caribbean schools recognized so I could return home and practice med in the UK? Fantastic question. So as an organization, we are very particular with the medical schools that we choose to work with. We do extensive research on the schools, and we want to ensure that for you, you can come back to your home country, whether it's the UK, whether it's going to the US, whether it's staying in Europe, wherever that might be. We want to make sure that the degree meets the criteria of where you go to. So in the UK, the Medical Council has a criteria of acceptable overseas qualification. So we have a team that will assess the degrees before you even step foot in. And this could be anything from 6 months to 12 months to 18 months to make sure that as you step foot on campus, you know, you're confident knowing that the degree will meet the criteria. So for Bay University, the degree meets the criteria of acceptance set by the GMC, the hours, the practical hours that you do, the clock hours that the GMC looks for. For Richmond University, as you guys have seen, we have graduates who came to talk about the experience. So the degree is recognized. Now, not only that, it's also recognized in other countries like Australia. It's also recognized in the US, where there are graduates who have gone there to practice. It's just basically wherever you would like to. So, but coming back to the UK, you are able to utilize the degree to practice. All right, let's move on to another question. Bear with me. I'm just going to go through them. There's so many that's coming back. All right. I heard that I can study medicine for 3 years. Is this true? Okay, this is a great question, but I'm glad that it was asked, because we also get asked this question quite a lot. And also as an organization, we have to look into as to why a school would teach medicine for 3 years. Now, of course, some councils, medical councils, tend to accept medical school. As long as you study for up to 3 years, it can be accepted. But we have to dig further, because a lot of medical council want to make sure that the graduate completes the full course before coming. So we asked our medical council, the GMC, about this and what their thoughts were. And I'm glad this question was asked. And the GMC says that they remain non-committal on the acceptability of a 3-year medical course. So particularly the one that's offered in St. Lucia. This is one that we get asked. And what the GMC stated is, whether a 3-year course is acceptable is not something that they can answer definitively. Now, the Commonwealth University College of Medicine, which is where this university is an institution where they've highlighted as the potential issue due to the course duration. Therefore, any qualification from this university will need a full awarding body assessment, such that a graduate contacts us regarding taking the plan exam. So essentially what they're saying is, you have to do the full length of the course, because they've also highlighted that people are inquiring with them to see whether they can do medicine for 3 years. So it's our duty as an organization that's been going for a decade to make sure that you make the right choice, so that you don't cut corners and go and study something that may not be useful at the end. Because at the end, as you guys have seen tonight, we've had some graduates who are working, and there's nothing worse than finishing a course in a shorter amount of time and then coming home and not being able to register. This is something that we do to help you, because we care about you and we care about everything that you do to come back. Because when you succeed, as you've seen with the graduates, we also succeed. All right, let's take 2 more questions and then we can call it an evening. All right, so let's go through another one. Are the living costs more than the tuition fees? This is a perfect question, and I think I'll bring back my colleague Dana to help answer this question. Dana, are you still with us?
Yes, I'm here. So we did have a chart earlier when we were talking about the living expenses and the tuition fees. The tuition fees range starting from 4,800 euros up to 25,000 euros. And as we discussed earlier, a very important point is that tuition fees range on the economical situation of the country. Now, every country has its own living expenses. If the tuition fees are low, then the living expenses are usually lower. A country that has tuition fees of 5,000 euros has lower living expenses than a country whose tuition fees are 16,000 euros, and so on. But something very exciting in Europe and what students like, and it's known worldwide, people go on holidays to Europe because it's very affordable. Living there is affordable, going there on a holiday is very affordable, getting an apartment, you can get a luxury modern apartment for around 600, 700 euros a month, covering all expenses. So it's quite affordable living there. I would say it depends on the country that you study in, but as we discussed before, let's discuss your budget, and we'll discuss living expenses also over the call to help you find something suitable for you. And we also tell you each country how much is it going to cost you to live there. But usually I would say it's a range of 700 to 800 euros a month for apartment, like accommodation, living expenses altogether, pocket money, etc.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, Dana. So, to all the future and medical dental students who are here today, we say congrats to you. We hope that this webinar has really given you important ideas and inspiration for your dream of studying in another country. Now, before we finish, I really want to say a big thank you to all of the parents and the family members and the students who are here. We also want to thank all of the students and the graduates who have joined us tonight and taking time out of their busy schedules to share their experiences with you guys. We really appreciate you being part of this. Now, for the parents and the families, your support and your belief in your children mean a lot, and your families, because you've helped shape their dreams, and your trust in them is really incredible. Now, by you guys being here, you're showing how much you care about their education and their future success, and your love and dedication and is super important, and will keep inspiring them as they take the next steps abroad. And to you guys, the students who are watching, really your enthusiasm, your question, your curiosity and determination has been fantastic. And it's brave to have big dreams and want to study abroad. By joining this webinar, we hope that you guys are taking an important step with your dreams. Because studying abroad is about more than just learning. It's an adventure that changes you as an amazing person in amazing ways. It might feel scary, as some of the students said, but you're stepping out of your comfort zone, and that's where great things happen. You'll face tough challenges. You'll learn from new experience. You'll grow inside and stronger inside. And also, studying abroad lets you see cool new things, and you learn about new ways of doing healthcare. You'll meet people from different places, and then you'll get skills that will make you a better healthcare person. Now, it's not just about getting a degree, because it's about growing as a person and joining a worldwide community of people who really care about health. So, what are you waiting for? Take the big step, believe in yourself, and go after the dreams. And we are here to help you, because you have the power to make the world a better place for you. And this starts by being here, right? Now, to book an appointment or to schedule or to connect with us, you can scan the QR codes that's on there, on the link, and then you can also click a link as well. Now, for your participation certificates for tonight's webinar, you can use the QR code to scan. I think it's on the left or the right side of the webinar. Now, we've received some amazing questions from you guys tonight, so many, and we're truly grateful for your engagement. But, of course, we can't answer all of them in this session, but we have a wonderful opportunity for you guys. You can schedule a one-to-one appointment with our expert advisors, so you can get more of a personalized guidance and answers to your specific questions about studying abroad. Now, due to the busy period, if you don't find an earlier appointment or a slot, please don't hesitate to contact us directly. And we'll do everything we can to accommodate you for an earlier call, because it's been very busy since results day and all year. We've been really excited to work with a lot of students, amazing students who have gone abroad. And we can't wait to meet you abroad as well, in Europe, wherever that might be. We want to thank everyone, all the team that's involved in making this happen. Have a great evening, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Thank you.